So first and foremost, MAGA world. Basically, I think kind of the whole thing to me is really comes down to this piece by Miranda Devine, who's one of the luminaries of MAGA. She's a columnist at the New York Post, very good writer.
Yes.
Truly, I mean, it's like to me the measure of a good writer and a good columnist is someone whose work I admire when I disagree with almost everything they have to say. She's one of those people. And she's really good, but she was arguing in yesterday's post, hey, listen, MAGA world, this is only the Epstein thing is only feeding into the Democrats. They want us to beat each other up. We've got to let it go. I know it's fishy. I know it smells bad. And I know it seems like rich and powerful people are being covered up for, but we just got to let it go. We got to stick together as a team. It might be the least persuasive argument I've ever read by her.
Yeah, that came straight from the White House. That was the White House's one sheet paper on Epstein talking points, because that's exactly what they want. Trump tried it last week when he interrupted this reporter who was asking both. Well, Pam Bondi started by asking Pam Bondi about Epstein, and Trump says, "Wait a minute, don't answer that. Do you want to answer that? Why is anybody still talking about this? This creep died years ago. You're still talking about it?" It's like, well, you're the one that ran on this in the 2024 election. This was your issue. You're the one who kept the Epstein scandal alive. I was on the Patrick Bet-David show last week, and he said to me, and I hadn't thought about it this way until he said it, but this is the gravest crisis that Donald Trump has faced. It wasn't relations with Russia or the collapse of talks with North Korea or the war in Ukraine or the war in Gaza. It's this, because he promised his base he was going to get to the bottom of it and then didn't. And not only didn't, but made it look as bad as it could possibly look. You remember, Ted, the press conference last week where Kash Patel and Dan Bongino were sitting like this, right? Scowling, kind of looking up over their glasses. And they so clearly didn't want to be there. And they so clearly didn't want to have to toe Pam Bondi's line. There was a great piece in, I think it was the Associated Press today, saying that, Bongino never showed up for work on Friday. He boycotted. He didn't call in sick or anything. He just didn't show up for work. Well, if you or I did that, we'd be fired.
He took a mental health day.
He took a mental health day. And this was his pressure on Pam Bondi to make her resign. But what happened to Pam Bondi? Donald Trump, who's far more politically savvy than he seems to be often, he invited her to this, soccer match, and they were on TV together, and he expressed great faith in Pam Bondi. When a reporter asked him at the soccer match whether Bongino was going to resign, he said, "I don't know. Maybe he will. I've been on his show many, many times. I like him. He's a good guy. I hope he doesn't resign. I guess not." What kind of endorsement is that? So Bongino sort of overplayed his hand. With that said, the MAGA base is with Bongino and Kash Patel, because they clearly wanted to provide more information, wanted to release more information than Pam Bondi was willing to release. And so instead of this thing going away, it just got worse.
It's funny. I see echoes all over the place. The expressions that you described on Kash Patel's face reminded me of that lady during COVID who was there, like when Trump was talking about the bleach, and she's like,
yeah.
And also, this is also, I think MAGA world is experiencing what Democrats, and we all experienced when we were told that Biden was just fine, right? Like, there's nothing to see here. Don't worry about a thing. They handed the MAGA influencers those giant binders that said Epstein Files, Volume 1, 2, 3 to come. It's like, look, we're so transparent. And it's like, the thing is, we might be stupid, but we're not idiots, right? So it's kind of like, now the question is, so let's speculate. What's in the files? Is it really what really happened here? I mean,
well, look at it this
Trump
way.
promised this. Obviously, they took a look, and one of two things is true. Either Trump's telling the truth, but he looks like a liar, or he's lying. And what's he lying about? What do you think it is?
I don't believe Pam Bondi when she says that there are no files. I made a joke the other day that it
Or
to
client.
paraphrase, yeah, to
Maybe not
paraphrase,
client, but like
right.
guilty list of rich, powerful dudes whose penises went into places that they were not supposed to be.
And to paraphrase Bill Clinton, it depends on what the definition of file is. You know, so one of the things that has really bothered me about this is you've got Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell didn't commit suicide. She got 20 years in prison. This can't possibly have been, the extent of the conspiracy. Pam Bondi put her foot in her mouth the other day, and I'm surprised that nobody cracked on her. But she said indignantly, "These videos show nothing but disgusting child pornography, and they will never be released. They'll never see the light of day." Great. We don't want to watch the child pornography.
We don't.
We want to know who the adults are that are raping the children. Why aren't you telling us?
And if you don't want to show that video, dump it on the internet, even with like little, grayed out.
Of course.
No, that's fine.
But I want every one of those men to be prosecuted.
Or why not?
Also,
why not bring in like, I don't know, 2 or 3 seasoned reporters from, let's say, CNN and Fox News and, OAN, let's say, and have them come in and look at them. Have them look at them.
Couldn't agree more.
Devices.
Couldn't agree more. And why haven't the security guys whom Epstein hired to be monitors to watch all the screens that were attached to the hidden cameras? Why haven't they been indicted or even identified or arrested? What about the household staff? Has the FBI interrogated the household staff? They're the ones that saw this going and nobody said anything.
Producer Robbie in the private chat brings up a good question. I want to know where Epstein was getting his money. We all want to know where he was getting his money.
Exactly.
So
we don't know. He was a tax consultant. He was an elementary school math teacher or junior high school math teacher. He didn't have any experience. He didn't even finish college.
And he owned his own island. And not to mention a townhouse on the Upper East Side of Manhattan.
The widest townhouse on the Upper East Side of Manhattan.
That's a lot of money. Yeah. There's no way it was back then. Even when he bought it a long time ago, had to be at least $15 million. At
least
had to be.
It sold for like in the 40s, to the best of my recollection.
Yeah. So the working. There's a lot of working theories here, but like basically, we are not being told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
That's it.
What did Trump? So when Trump promised to release this stuff, one of two things also had to be true. Either he had some idea of what was in there, or he didn't. I'm suspecting the latter. And then they got in there and it's like, oh shit. Do you agree with that?
I do.
Okay, so then
I agree with it.
All right, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. Otherwise, why would he promise to release it, knowing that he wouldn't be able
unless somebody at a lower level or some group of people at a lower level destroyed everything.
Which, as you pointed out, has a way of happening, like certain waterboarding videos.
That's right.
Even though
and MK Ultra documents,
things, poof. Gone,
That's
gone.
right. That's right. So I can't believe I'm even going to say these words, but I'm with Kash Patel and Dan Bongino on this thing.
Well, what's going to happen? So I guess here's the thing, right? So, the MAGA world is a big tent. It encompasses lots of different strains of ideology, and there's a certain sizable plurality of voters who really want to know what's going on and are not going to drop this bone. Are they going to? How will the White House deal with them. I'm just telling them settle down doesn't seem like it's doing the job
Well,
right.
And that was the strategy last week, was to tell everybody settle down and just hope that the thing would go away by the weekend. And it didn't. It got worse. You know, when you've lost,
as cover-ups usually do.
Yes. And anybody who's spent any time in Washington will tell you that it's not the crime that brings down presidents. It's the cover-up of
Always.
the crime. And so when you've lost Bannon and you've lost Marjorie Taylor Greene and you've lost Tucker Carlson, you're in quicksand. And
right.
you need to do something transparent to get yourself out.
It doesn't seem like, and it seems like that's just not, I was going to say, I don't think it's the Trump way. It's just not the official way.
That's right.
It's not their first instinct, right?
That is right.
The truth shall set you free, but we don't know the truth. Where does this go from here? Does it fade away, or does this, or do we?
No, I'll tell you,
investigation, or
I think they're going to miraculously find something, documents, hard drives, videos, something, and they'll release something.
Do you think they'll throw the person they care about the least under the bus?
I do. Somebody's going to end up resigning or getting fired. I mean, the FBI's New York field office special agent in charge was fired in the very beginning because he was hoarding Epstein documents and not releasing them. So there's something out there. I'm confident.